First, Google is investing in Warby Parker for Google Glass 2.0.
Second, OpenAI is acquiring the original designer of the iPhone for $6 billion.
Third, this was the biggest week ever for smart glasses.
Wow.
Yes. But first, Jack, you know when you go to a party and then there's like an after party that's more fun than the first party?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was like what happened yesterday. Google stock jumped 4%, gained $80 billion in value after hosting the biggest party of the year.
The Google I/O conference in Mountain View, California, had a wild number of announcements from Alphabet.
Okay, first, the big news. Google is finally disrupting itself.
2.5 years after ChatGPT launched, Google is finally replacing Google Search with an AI chatbot.
So, Bestie, starting like today, here's what you could see when you go to Google something.
They're starting to roll it out right now.
Yeah.
When you're Googling, there's always been a tab to do Google Images, Google News, Google Videos.
But now you'll see a new tab called AI Mode, which will answer your query questions like a chatbot.
If you search for something in AI mode, instead of a list of links as the result, you'll just get an answer to your question.
Okay, another big update going viral. Google announced real-time translation.
In Google Meets, if you're speaking in English but the other person only speaks Spanish, it will live translate what you're saying with just a couple of seconds of lag.
I mean, Jack, when I'm in France tomorrow, I could literally be saying, like, I want the bread, and we'll be saying, je voudrais le pain. And I'll be like, I don't know where that came from, but let's go with it.
It's all done by AI, and apparently it mimics your tone and your voice.
But besties, pause the pod. Because the biggest announcement wasn't what Google knows. It's what's on your nose.
Really nicely done. Here it is. Google is relaunching Google Glass.
Yeah, this is Google's big bet on the future. And what was the surprise about the announcement, Jack?
They're not doing it alone. They're doing it with Warby Parker.
Warby Parker, the direct-to-consumer glasses company, is getting a $150 million investment from Google.
It was the biggest day ever for Warby Parker stock, which jumped 20% on the news.
Yeah, we're talking about a glasses brand that feels like a library. It actually could become the smart device of the future.
Now, the context of this story is Meta Ray-Ban glasses. That's been a stealthy hit for Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, good point, Jack. Zuck said that sales of their smart glasses have tripled in the last year, and we've predicted it's going to be the Christmas gift of 2025.
But Google's version of smart glasses appears more advanced than Meta's because the lens doubles as a screen.
Yeah, Jack, why don't you walk us through the demonstration we saw on stage over at Google?
In Google's demo, the user asked Google's AI assistant, which is in the glasses, for directions to like the local Starbucks.
Okay, and then what happened, Jack?
Google Maps turn-by-turn directions was overlaid on the lens of the glasses.
Yeah.
So that the person could see the streets and see the corners, but also know exactly where they're going.
This is a major differentiator, that the lens for Google and Warby Parker is also a screen for the smart glasses.
It means you don't need your phone. You can just ask your glasses to show you your text messages, show you your emails, and dictate the responses to them.
Honestly, Zuck's Meta Ray-Bans can't do that yet. They have an AI assistant, but it's only audio. It's not visual.
Now, what Meta does have is a product that's actually in the market already.
Right.
Google didn't give us a release date or say how much these Google glasses with Warby Parker will cost.
Yeah, remember, if they don't tell you the price, it means it's going to be expensive.
Exactly.
But these Warby Google glasses do solve the key reason why Google Glass originally failed 10 years ago.
People hated Google glasses.
Yeah.
First, because of the privacy invasion, also because they were ugly.
This solves the ugly rule. Like, you're not going to look ugly in a pair of Warbies.
But one more thing. Breaking news yesterday.
Yeah.
OpenAI has acquired the design company of Johnny Ive for $6 billion.
This is the biggest acqui-hire in the history of Silicon Valley, baby.
Johnny Ive is quite a hire, though, because he was famously one of the guys who designed the iPhone and the MacBook Pro and the iPod.
But now he's going to be building hardware gadgets for OpenAI and Sam Altman.
OpenAI's tech hardware gadget will be unveiled next year. It might be a phone, it might be a watch, it might be smart glasses.
Or it could be a bracelet. That's our sleeper pick. But Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies who are everyone watching this insane week for smart glasses?
Google, Meta, Apple, and OpenAI. It's the great race to replace the iPhone.
Yeti's Iron Man has Jarvis. Someday, you, man, will have something similar.
That's right. After 20 years of Android and iPhone dominating, phones are going to be replaced by smart glasses.
And the computing device of the future to replace the smartphone, it has 4 key players right now.
Meta has partnered with Ray-Ban, Google has partnered with Warby Parker, and Apple is still doing it solo at this point.
Apparently, Tim Cook is reportedly obsessed with launching smart glasses. It's like the only thing he talks about at Apple.
And the fourth player is OpenAI and the original iPhone designer, Johnny Ive.
So besties, these glasses, they will all have an AI assistant built in to give you full access to the internet, all voice activated.
Iron Man has Jarvis. Human will have something similar.
Add it all up, and we just started the great race to replace the iPhone. And the winner gets the